position that she might desire a few more little coins, a few more ducats in the bank. So we do consider ourselves eligible to pick up what we call side hustles. Just some things that we can do on the side to bring in a little quick cash, not nothing permanent, okay? So for me, I do have boundaries because I am a wife and a mom of six, and three of my children are adults. So they are already out there in the world seeing what it is for themselves. Who wants them to run up on some things about their mother's past that would make them feel like they can dishonor her or feel disrespected about their mother? Nobody. So I have my boundaries, and I'm finna share with you 5 limits of things that I would never consider doing as a side hustle. Number one, babysit, pet sit. I would never consider babysitting or pet sitting for anybody at this point because it would just be taking on more cleaning, more hassles at home with the children, more attitudes in the home, and I don't want to put more on my own family and take on more than I can bear because then I would be overwhelmed, overstimulated even more than I already am, and who wants to put that on their family? So knowing who I am and the type of household I like to run, I would never consider babysitting or pet sitting as a side hustle. Number two, virtual assistant. I would never consider being any kind of assistant for that matter because we all know that an assistant is someone who's on call, someone who's needed. Their time is what they selling as a service. And in order for me to balance out the time I have at home, I don't think that I could pair up and be a good assistant and give that attention and time to someone who really needs it. So I would never consider being an assistant to anyone or a virtual assistant for a side hustle. Number three, and I have to admit that number three is something I don't know if a lot of people consider this a side hustle, but I have met people who do this frequently for cash, who do this frequently, and they do not work, but they do this enough to keep up with their bills and supply food for themselves. And it is donating blood or plasma. Now, don't get me wrong. First of all, let me be the first to admit I have done them both. And the first time I did the donating blood, I fainted, y'all. Okay, it was not a good deal. And then I waited years later down the line and thought, I'm gonna jump in here and try donating plasma, and I almost fainted again. So no, I would never consider that as a personal side hustle for myself. But I do know people who make money doing that. So number four, I would never consider OnlyFans as a side hustle. I'm not sure what it's all about. No, I do. I've never been on there. I don't know anyone personally on there. But from what I hear, it's more of a adult site where people are invited to join and book subscriptions with different pages for time to see them doing things that are risque, I would say. I'm not really sure, but the whole idea of communicating or just engaging with another person online who's interested in a part of me that I don't regularly share with the world, I'm not sure that'd be a good fit for a wife in general. So no, I would never consider OnlyFans as a side hustle, and that leads me directly into my big number 5. I would never consider selling feet pics online as a side hustle. And don't get me wrong, and this is a disclaimer for every one of these hustles. I commend anybody that's doing these. I'm not telling you to not do them or to discourage anybody else from doing them. It's just something that does not fit into my lifestyle. So selling feet pics sounds tempting. It sounds luxurious. But trust me, I don't believe that that's the only type of pics getting sold when they making so much money. I would rather say no, especially knowing that you do have to communicate and socialize with strangers and different type of people who interested in these type of fetishes. I would give it a hard no and a quick pass. But if you're doing it, salute to you, and I hope your pocket's getting bigger by the day. Hey, that's all I got for y'all today. So a day in my life as a housewife, as a mom, as a unemployed black woman, I just want you to know that no, it's not always easy, but we do have to make choices and we do have to make trade-offs. So I would definitely say that when it comes to getting money, I do have my limits and I do have my boundaries. So those are my 5 that I would never consider doing as a side hustle, as a wife and a mom.